Every year, the average American tax refund clears $3,000. That is not a small amount. And for millions of people, the first thing they do when they think about how to get that refund is reach for TurboTax, book an appointment with H&R Block, or walk into some strip mall office with a neon sign promising fast cash. Here's what most of them do not know. The government already has a system that lets most of them file for free. The IRS has had one for over 20 years. According to a Treasury Department report, around 98 million taxpayers are eligible to use it. And every year, roughly 2 to 3 million actually do. Now, why? Because the companies that sell tax preparation have spent millions lobbying Congress, running dark pattern websites, hiding free options from search engines, and doing whatever it takes to make sure you never find out that free option exists.
Welcome to your Money on Easy mode with Damien.
This is not a conspiracy theory. It's documented. ProPublica investigations, FTC lawsuits, $141 million settlement, a Federal Trade Commission complaint that specifically accused one of these companies of deleting your tax data to prevent you from downgrading to the free version. Now, before we get into any of this, quick heads up. Nothing in this episode is personal financial advice. I'm laying out options, the history, and a decision framework so you can make the right call for your own situation. Your taxes, your life, your call. Today, we are going to cover how the tax prep industry rigged the game against you, how to spot the dark patterns they use to extract money from you, and what the actual free options are this year, and how to figure out exactly which one fits your situation. The decision tool I built for this is called the Free Filing Finder. 4 questions, 5 minutes, $0. Let's go. The tax preparation industry has spent the last 20 years doing one thing above everything else, making sure you never figure out you can file your taxes for free. Here's a thing that should genuinely annoy you. The IRS has had a free filing program since 2003. It's called IRS Free File. Under it, taxpayers below a certain income level can file their federal return for free using tax software from private companies. The government has essentially set up a free service. So why did most people not know about it? That's because of the deal itself. When the IRS launched the Free File program in 2003, it struck a public-private partnership with a coalition of tax software companies. The IRS promised to not build its own competing free filing product, and in exchange, the companies would provide free filing to qualifying taxpayers. Now, on paper, this sounds like a reasonable trade-off. However, in practice, the companies treated it as a containment agreement. Keep the government out of the tax prep business, and then quietly make the free option as hard to find as possible. ProPublica spent years investigating this, and what they found was pretty shocking. TurboTax, the dominant name in consumer tax software, was actively hiding its own free version from search engines. If you searched TurboTax Free File on Google, the free product did not show up. You got sent to the paid version. This was not a technical glitch. TurboTax added code to its website to specifically exclude the free product from search indexing. They deliberately made it harder to find. And then it got worse. In 2022, Intuit, which makes TurboTax, settled with 30 state attorneys general for $141 million. The allegation was that they had unfairly charged low-income taxpayers by steering them into paid software when they qualified to receive the free. Around 4.4 million people were affected. If you received a small settlement check in 2023, somewhere between $29 and $85, that is what it was for. The government agreed that you had been overcharged. Now, H&R Block is not off the hook either. The Federal Trade Commission filed a complaint against them in 2024, alleging that the company designed its website to present, and I'm quoting the FTC's own language here, an obstacle course of tedious challenges that pressured people into upgrading to more expensive products. Wow. When people tried to downgrade back to the free option, H&R Block made them call customer service to do it. And while they were on hold, the company deleted the tax data they had already entered. Start over from scratch if you want the free product. These are not design oversights. This is deliberate friction strategy. H&R Block settled with the FTC for $7 million in 2024. Now, the scale of what happened here is captured in one number from a 2020 Treasury Department audit. Around 14 million Americans may have been duped into using paid software when they qualified to file for free. That translates into roughly $1 billion in revenue for the tax prep industry from people who owed them nothing. This is a machine that was built specifically to capture people who should have been filing for free. So, the good news, once you understand how it works, you can step around it completely. So, here's my first tip. When you search IRS Free File on a browser, when you click a result, make sure the URL ends in .gov. That is the only entry point where the industry cannot intercept you. Do not go directly to any company's homepage looking for the free option. When a tax software company says free, there is a real chance they mean free until we find an excuse to charge you. This section is about the dark patterns you need to recognize before you click anything, because knowing the playbook is how you stop falling for it. So here's how the bait works, and it's almost embarrassingly consistent once you see it. You land on TurboTax or H&R Block's website. You see a banner that says file for free. You start entering your information. Name, social security number, W-2 details. You are 20, 30, 40 minutes in. And then you hit a screen that says something like, it looks like your situation requires our deluxe plan. So what happened? They found a trigger. Maybe you have a student loan interest deduction. Maybe you sold a small amount of stock. Maybe you have a health savings account. These are extremely common financial situations, and many of them do not actually require a paid product to file correctly. But the software tells you that you do, presents the upgrade button in large print, and buries the downgrade option in small type several screens away. At that point, most people upgrade because they've already invested 40 minutes, all their information is in the system, and starting over feels like a worse option. This is exactly what the design is counting on. It's called sunk cost exploitation. You've already spent time and effort going in one direction, so you keep going rather than cut your losses. The companies understand behavioral economics better than most financial apps, and they use that understanding against you. Now the numbers tell the rest of the story. TurboTax's free edition covers roughly 37% of filers. H&R Block is somewhat more generous, covering about 52%. Now flip that around. Nearly half to almost 2/3 of people who click File for Free on a major platform are going to hit an upgrade prompt before they finish, and most of them will not turn back. The cost if you end up in a paid tier is real money. Depending on the platform and your situation, paid software runs from around $39 at the low end to $150 or more for federal filing alone. Add in state filing, another $30 to $50 on most platforms, and a simple return that started as free can run you $150 to $200 by the time you actually submit. And if you walk into an in-person chain, the average cost of a simple Form 1040 with a standard deduction is right around $220. For more complex returns with itemized deductions, you're looking at $400 to $600, and the prices go up from there. Now, none of this is wrong if you are getting real value from it. If your return is complicated, if you have a business, property, or significant investment activity, then a good tax professional can be worth every dollar that they charge. That is a separate conversation. What I'm saying here is that if your return is relatively straightforward, W-2 income, standard deduction, maybe a few common credits, you are likely among the 98 million Americans who qualify for free filing and are currently paying for something they do not need. So here is how to protect yourself from the dark patterns. First, never start entering your data on a paid platform without verifying your eligibility for the free tier at irs.gov/freefile. Do that first, not after you're 20 minutes in. Second, if you are already on a platform and you hit an upgrade screen, close the tab and start over on a different platform. Yes, it is frustrating, but $150 is more frustrating. And third, do not pay to file a state return when free state filing is available elsewhere. Several genuinely free options include state filing at no charge. So before you open any tax software this year, spend 5 minutes on irs.gov/freefile to check your eligibility. Those 5 minutes could save you $150 before you've typed a single number into any form. Quick question. If someone handed you $10,000 right now, would you know exactly what to do with it? Honestly, most people don't. And that uncertainty, well, that can cost you big time. So that's why I created something free just for you. Yes, Free. And that is my Easy Mode Money Ladder. The Easy Mode Money Ladder is a simple step-by-step guide to help you figure out exactly what to do with your money and when. This is not a boring budget worksheet. This is a no fluff guide that tells you exactly when to build your emergency fund, how much to put in it, the best way to crush your debt, and the steps you need to take, which aren't that complicated, to start growing real long-term wealth. All of this one simple step at a time. No matter where you are in your money journey, this guide is for you. It will help you plan your next money move with confidence. And did I mention that it's free? Yep, totally free and will always be free. If you want this guide, and I think you should, then go to my show notes and click on the link to my Stan store. That's simply my internet storefront where I give away this guide for free. Download it, follow it, and let's put your money on easy mode. Now, back to the show. 98 million Americans qualify for a government program to file their federal taxes for free. Here is how it actually works in 2026 and how to use it without getting routed to a paid product. This section is a full breakdown of IRS Free File, the income limits for this year, how to access it correctly, and what the heck happened to Direct File. IRS Free File is the government's formal program for free federal tax filing. It is a partnership between the IRS and a group of private tax software companies called the Free File Alliance. If your adjusted gross income, your AGI, was $89,000 or less in 2025, you qualify for guided tax software that prepares and files your 2025 federal tax return at no charge. That threshold is actually $5,000 higher than it was last year, which the IRS says is one of the largest annual jumps in the program's history. So more people qualify this year than last. Let's put that number into perspective. The median household income in the United States sits in the $60,000 to $65,000 range. So the majority of American households qualify for the Free File program. Most people listening to this episode right now qualify. The single most important thing to know about using IRS Free File is this. Always start at irs.gov/freefile, not TurboTax's website, not H&R Block's homepage, the IRS website. When you start there, the IRS routes you directly to the free version of a partner's software. On the other hand, when you go to a company's website directly, you are navigating on their terms with their design choices and their upgrade prompts waiting around every corner. From irs.gov/freefile, you will see two main options. The first is guided tax software, which is the right choice for most people. You pick one of the partner companies and the software walks you through your return with a step-by-step interview. 8 partners are participating in the program for the 2026 filing season. Each partner sets its own eligibility rules within the program, including age ranges, states, and income. The IRS has a Find Your Trusted Partner tool right in the page that filters by your specific situation and tells you which programs actually apply to you. Use that tool. Do not pick one at random. And some partners offer free state filing, which matters. State filing separately can run you $30 to $50 on most platforms. The partner tool shows you which ones include your state for free. So check that before you start. Now, the second option is Free File fillable forms. This one has no income limit at all. Anyone can use it regardless of what you earn. But it is different. It is a digital version of the IRS paper forms. You fill them in directly without guidance or prompts. Think of it as an electronic blank form, not a software assistant. This option is best for filers who already know what they are doing and do not need help navigating the process. Now, a significant development you may have heard about is IRS Direct File. The IRS launched it as a pilot in 2024, expanded it to 25 states in 2025, made it permanent, and it covered more than 30 million eligible taxpayers. It even got strong reviews from users. And then the Treasury Department announced in November of 2025 that they were shutting it down. As of the 2026 filing season, the file is gone. The URLs return page not found errors. No restart date has been announced, and the IRS says it's refocusing on the existing Free File partnership program instead, which is exactly what the tax prep lobby wanted. So here we are. IRS Free File through the partner network is your primary government option, and it is a solid one if you use it correctly. So go to irs.gov/freefile right now and click the Find Your Trusted Partner tool. Enter your filing status, age, state, and your 2025 AGI. It will show you every free filing option that you actually qualify for, including ones which also cover state filing for free. The IRS Free File is not your only option for filing at $0. There are 3 other routes most people have never heard of, and one of them is probably the cleanest free option in the entire space right now. This section covers every other genuinely free filing option, including who each one is best for. So let me run through each one. First up, Cash App Taxes. I want to highlight this one first because it is the most broadly free option currently available. Cash App Taxes, which is part of Block, the same company behind the Cash App payment platform, allows anyone to file both federal and state returns at no charge. Federal is free, state is free. There is no income limit. There are no restrictions based on form complexity. W-2 income, investment gains, student loan interest, the earned income tax credit, self-employment income. Most common situations are covered. It is legitimately free with no upgrade path. The only requirement is creating a free Cash App account. It also includes free audit defense, which is a nice bonus that paid platforms usually charge extra for. So for the majority of people with straightforward returns, Cash App Taxes is the sleeper pick of the free filing world. It does not get the marketing budget of TurboTax, which is precisely why it does not need to recoup that budget from you. The next option is Free Tax USA. This one charges nothing for your federal return and a small fee, right around $15, for state filing. If you have a moderately complex return and you live in a state with an income tax, Free Tax USA is still significantly cheaper than the paid tiers of TurboTax or H&R Block. The software covers a wide range of tax situations, it is competent, and it does not push you into upgrades. So for anyone comfortable doing their own taxes who just wants a clean, affordable experience, Free Tax USA is a legitimate choice. VITA, or the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, is a completely different model. VITA is a free in-person tax preparation service operated by IRS certified volunteers at sites around the country, like libraries, community centers, churches, and nonprofit offices. If your income is roughly $67,000 a year or less, if you have a disability, if you are 60 years old or older, or if you need language support for tax preparation, you are eligible. The exact income ceiling varies slightly by site, so check your local location, but $67,000 is a reliable amount. You get a trained volunteer preparing your return for you for free with a quality review process built in. This is not a second-rate backup option. VITA volunteers are IRS certified. Their work is quality reviewed before submission. So for anyone who finds the software intimidating, who prefers dealing with a human being, or who simply does not want to handle this themselves, VITA is an excellent service. To find a VITA site near you, go to irs.gov and search VITA Site Locator. You can search by zip code and see what documentation each site requires. Now, there's a closely related program called TCE, Tax Counseling for the Elderly, specifically serving taxpayers 60 and older with a focus on pension and retirement-related questions. Okay, one more free filing option, Mil Tax. If you are active duty military, this is your option. Mil Tax is a Department of Defense program that provides free federal and state filing with no income limits to all active duty service members and their immediate families. It covers a wide range of tax situations. If you serve or have someone in your immediate family who serves, Mil Tax is the answer, full stop. Are you still making minimum payments and getting nowhere on your pile of debt? Let's change that. If your credit card balance feels like a boss fight that you just can't win, well, I made something for you. It's called the Easy Mode Guide to Destroy Your Debt, and it gives you the exact plan to break free. In this 23-page guide, we'll bust through common myths, learn step-by-step strategies, and you'll discover how to pay off your debt faster, without shame, overwhelm, or giving up everything that you enjoy. Whether you're into the snowball method, the avalanche method, or have no idea what either of those mean, this guide is for you. If you're ready to finally start paying down your debt, then this guide speaks plain English and delivers results. It's just $19.99 and it's available in my storefront. If you click the link down below to enter my stand store, you'll see a big green button to purchase the guide. Please don't let another month slip by with no progress. Hit pause on this video, scroll down to the show notes, and click the link to download this guide. Now back to the show. 4 questions. That is all it takes to figure out exactly which free filing option is right for your tax situation in 2026. This section is the Free Filing Finder, the 4-question decision framework that routes you to your best $0 option regardless of your income or situation. Here is how it works. You answer 4 yes or no questions in order, and the answers route you to the right option. So screenshot this or write it down. Question number 1. Is your tax situation relatively simple? A simple situation means mostly W-2 income from an employer, the standard deduction rather than itemized deductions, and maybe some common credits like the child tax credit, earned income tax credit, student loan interest, or basic retirement savings credits. If that describes you, then move to question 2. Now, one 2026 specific caveat: if you earned tip income or overtime pay in 2025, there are new deductions available under recent tax legislation that may add some complexity to your return. Make sure whichever free option you choose supports those deductions before you commit to it, or consider VITA or a professional preparer who can confirm you are capturing the full benefit. If your situation is more complex, meaning you have business income with a Schedule C, rental properties, significant investment activity, or stock sales, foreign income, multiple income streams, then skip ahead to question 4. Now, question 2. Was your adjusted gross income $89,000 or less in 2025? If yes, then you qualify for IRS Free File through the partner network. Go to irs.gov/freefile and use the Find Your Trusted Partner tool to see your specific options. You also qualify for Cash App Taxes, which has no income ceiling and covers federal and state at 0 cost. Either one works for a simple return. If you want the most guided handheld experience with multiple established software brands to choose from, IRS Free File. If you want the most straightforwardly free option with no frills, Cash App Taxes. If your 2025 AGI was above $89,000, IRS Free File guided tax is not available to you, but Cash App Taxes still is. Moving on to question 3. Question 3. Do you need to file a state return? If yes, check whether your IRS Free File partner offers free state filing before committing. Not all of them do. If your partner does not include state, Cash App Taxes covers state filing for free with no income limit and is the cleanest workaround. If your situation is a bit more complex than a basic W-2, Free Tax USA charges nothing for federal and about $15 for state, which is still significantly less than the paid tiers of TurboTax and H&R Block. VITA also covers state filing for eligible filers at no charge. If your state does not have an income tax, which applies to Alaska, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, and Wyoming, this question is irrelevant for you, and you can route straight to any federal free option. Question number 4. Do you fall into one of those specific categories like active duty military, 60 or older, or have a disability? If you are active duty military, use meal tax. No income limit, free federal and state, purpose-built for your situation. If you are 60 or older, check both VITA and TCE. Tax counseling for the elderly is specifically designed for your situation and has volunteer expertise in retirement and pension income. If you have a disability, you qualify for VITA regardless of your income level. If you made it all the way here and answered no to question 4 and your return is complex, you likely need a paid product or a professional preparer. That's a reasonable choice for complex situations. A good CPA or enrolled agent who knows your situation can find deductions and credits that software sometimes misses, and the cost difference can be worth it. What you want to avoid is paying CPA prices on a simple return that Cash App Taxes handles for free. All right, let me recap the free filing finder in one place. Simple return, 2025 AGI under 89,000, IRS Free File at irs.gov/freefile. Simple return, any income, want free state included, Cash App Taxes. Moderate complexity, want cheap but not zero, Free Tax USA, which gives free federal and about $15 for state. Low income, older, disabled, or want in-person help, VITA or TCE, completely free. Military, Mil Tax, completely free, no income limit. Complex return, none of the above apply. Paid software or a professional preparer is appropriate. Most people in this audience are in the first or second bucket. Most of you do not need to pay for this. Take the free filing finder right now. Work through the 4 questions. By the time this episode ends, you should know exactly where you're filing this year and what it will cost you. For most people, that number is 0. So here's what I want you to take from today. 98 million Americans qualify for free federal tax filing through the IRS. In the most recent full reporting year, about 2.7 million used it. The gap between those numbers is not due to ignorance or apathy. It's a result of a deliberate, funded, years-long campaign by an industry that profits from you not knowing. TurboTax hid its free product from search engines. H&R Block deleted your data when you tried to downgrade. Both companies paid hundreds of millions in settlements because of it. When the IRS built its own direct filing tool to cut the industry out entirely, the lobbying machine activated and the program got shut down. As of 2026, direct file is gone. You are allowed to be annoyed by that. I know I am. But more importantly, I want you to use the free filing finder and route around all of that. IRS Free File for most people. Cash App Taxes if you want the broadest truly free option that includes state. Free Tax USA if you want cheap and competent for moderate complexity. VITA if you want a human being and you qualify. Mil Tax if you serve. Start at irs.gov/freefile, not a company's homepage, the IRS site. April 15th is the deadline. You have time. If this episode helped you see through the noise, share it with someone who is about to sit down with TurboTax and pay for something they do not have to. That is the whole point of this show. New episodes drop every other Sunday. You can find me on YouTube at Your Money on Easy Mode, on Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that button now so you catch the next one. This is Your Money on Easy Mode. I'm Damien. Now go file for free.
Thanks for listening to Your Money on Easy Mode. If you enjoyed this episode, then please subscribe and share it with a friend.